Okay, friends, today we're going to make these really cute penguins. We're going to be drawing with a paintbrush today. So the first thing you're going to be using is some white paint. We're going to be making the body, the center, and the snow. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to remember the paintbrush painting rules. We want to make sure that we're holding it by the gripper like a pencil, just like this, and being very gentle. We want ballerina toes. The first thing we're going to do is come up just a little bit and do a wavy line on our paper. So I'm going to take my brush and draw a wavy line across my paper. I'm going to just make mine a little less wavy. There we go. I'm now going to go from the wavy line down and I'm going to paint my paper. As I'm painting with the white paint is usually a little thicker, so once in a while I can dip my brush in some water as I'm painting to help spread it out a little more. Don't use too much water because then your paint's going to be see-through. So I'm going back and forth in long paint strokes, and I'm trying to stay above that line. So I'm following the edge of that line and then working my way down. When I start to get to the corner, friends, I want to touch an area on the paper that does not have paint, so I'm not touching paint with my hands. Okay, alrighty, now I'm going to get my little water on my brush. We're going to start the penguin's body. I want to leave room on the edges for the black part of the penguin's body, but first I'm going to come above that wavy line and I'm going to do a horizontal line. After I've done that horizontal line, I'm then going to go in and I'm going to do a curve that goes all the way and connects back to that other line. If you notice anywhere where your paint looks a little see-through like this, go back in, friends, and do another layer of paint. Just keep dipping that paintbrush in your paint. You want your paint to look nice and opaque. We really don't want it to look see-through. Now I'm going to go in and fill that shape. And it's just like with coloring in art with our crayon. You're going to outline the shape first and then fill it in. So I'm outlining around that area first, and now I'm going to fill those areas in. If there's any areas that look a little see-through, add a little more paint to it. All right, friends, the next step is going to be black paint. So when I get a new color in art, it's very, very important that I do something special. I want to make sure that I clean my brush. So I'm going to dip it in my water and just kind of move it around for a couple seconds. Okay. I'm now going to get some black paint, and I'm going to take my brush. The black paint, you'll notice, might be a little more watery, and that is normal. I'm going to now go around and trace the outside edge of my white paint, and I want to be careful because if I get it into the white paint, it might mix a little bit. That's okay if it's an accident, but we want to try to not go inside the white part because then that will make my black look gray. So I'm just doing my best. And I'm just going around and I'm tracing my paint line. Notice how I didn't trace the bottom, friends. I just went around the curve. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw some triangles coming off of that for the penguin's arms. So, or flappers, you can call them. So I'm going to do a V that comes off the side. So there looks like a good amount of space here. I'm going to draw a V. And this is where, again, you need to push kind of light. Now I'm going to go in here, draw another V. Kind of looks like a cat's head right now, but it won't look like that when we're done. And same thing, trace and fill in, trace and fill in. Okie dokie, friends, that's what we're going to have time for today because we need to let this dry before we can do the next direction. So you're going to get the directions of how to add these to your drying rack, and we're going to put our things away together.